So just how important was it for you to see some shots go down?
Man, honestly, it was good. Obviously, I came into Purdue as a shooter, but I haven't been making anything. So it was obviously good. But I mean, credit to my teammates just for looking at me. Zach obviously attracts a lot of attention, double team, and you get easy wide open shots. And then the shot at the end of the shot clock. I mean, that's kind of done that a lot. So I mean, that was just something that was just threw it up there. Hopefully, it went in. But man, it was good, man. I think, like I said, credit back to my teammates. We played good as a team overall, and I was just happy.
Is it a product, Coach Painter said you played a lot of minutes when you're making lots of threes. This year you haven't played a lot of minutes. When you get in there and get in the flow of the game a little bit, is that when you can open up and hit those shots?
Yeah, man. Obviously sometimes when you're coming off the bench, and sometimes coming in and out, it's hard to get a rhythm, essentially. But he obviously, when I made a couple of shots, he left me in there, and my goal is to kind of, obviously get myself going early defensively, but kind of make my first, second shot, and Paint kind of, sees that and kind of tends to leave me in with Braden as well. So obviously, like I said, it was good to have some shots going.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm done in there.
You guys obviously still developing a little bit as a team. What can this kind of win mean for you guys to win a game this close away from home and things like that?
Man, honestly, just staying poised throughout the whole game. I mean, it's obviously hard when you hit a little adversity. When Ohio State went up, however many points they went up, and the loud, intense crowd. But I just like how poised we stayed throughout the end of the game. We got stops. We made some big shots. Fletcher that made the three at the end of the game. I mean, that's just huge. I mean, it's big time plays for big time players, and there's just nothing more to say about that. But I just like how he handled adversity. We came together as a team. We got stops at the end of the game.
Just the way Braden bounced back from the Rutgers game, the way Fletcher bounced back from the first half. What does it say about those two guys?
Thank you. If you were watching them, didn't know nothing about them, you never think they were freshmen. You would never think that. They're poised. They look like vets out there. And I was kind of just trying to tell Fletch, because I've been in his shoes before, when you have tough first halves and and coach they start in the second half. But I was like, man, stay poised, man. You score the ball at a high level. You do what you do, and it's going to come out. And he did that. And same thing with Braden. Like, he played, I think, 38 minutes. Like, it's a lot of minutes, and especially for a freshman. Him coming in and staying poised and being able to handle adversity and keep going through him being tired. That was important, man. He's our point guard. He handles us offensively, defensively, and he gets us going. So credit to him as well.
Were there any conversation like that after McNeil made the shot he made? That was an awful tough shot that, put them ahead. Was anybody on the sideline saying, hey, we've got this or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I tried to myself. I was out during that time, and I was like, hey, listen, I mean, everybody makes tough shots. Rutgers, they did as well. But we had to make sure the following play that they didn't get another three. Because we went up, and we didn't want them to get another three, kind of like Rutgers that happened. So we kind of played it a certain way, 1 through 5 switch, so they couldn't get the three off. And like I said, man, we just executed down the stretch, and I think that's going to be really important for us in this whole big template, because every team's going to come after us, and every team's a dogfight. So that's going to be important.
You mentioned it a little bit already, but obviously Braden Smith playing so many minutes kind of allowed you to play off the ball a little bit more. You've gone back and forth when just playing off the ball, handling the ball, dribbling up the court. Just how much did that kind of help you maybe get into a flow, just playing more maybe the natural position that you played, before you came here?
It helped me a lot. I mean, honestly, before I came here, as you mentioned, I've always been a 2-guard. That's how I've always been wired to score. It's kind of hard for me to be able to score this year playing the 1, because I'm like, I want to get everybody going, but also try to score, which is what I am. But I just felt like kind of my role this year was just to get guys going, and guys who score do that. Just adjusting to your role and accepting that role. That's what makes a really good team. It doesn't matter if you were a 20 or 30 point scorer on a different team. You come here, sometimes you might have a different role, and I think everybody knows their role on the team, which is very important. Being able to be humble and take a little piece of humble pie is important on this team. So I think we have guys with high character and charisma on this team, which allow us to be good.
This team was, I think you were 3 of 20 and 0 of 7 away from 3 before you hit that one to beat the shot clock. Just seeing the ball go in like that, what can that do for a team where it's like, okay, now we saw it go down, it's just balls.
It can do everything. It gives you momentum at the end of the day. Seeing threes go in, especially when we haven't been shooting as good as a team overall. We have a bunch of good shooters, though. We know that. We know it can't rain forever. At some point, we're going to get hot. And it's going to continue for us because, like I said, we got guys who work on their game each and every day, consistent. I've never seen guys work on their game as much as here. And I'm not just saying that to say it, but so I think at some point it's going to fall for us each game.
Did you guys collectively need some of that confidence as a shooting team because you feel like you're a better shooting team than you're showing, and just to finally see them go down? How much does that matter now?
Yeah, it matters a lot. Like I said, it's big momentum for us. Even myself, seeing some shots going for myself, seeing some shots going for all the guys, it's big. Because like I said, I'll say it again, we work on our threes so much. Fletch, Braid, everybody works on the game so much. And, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where you just rely back on your work and how hard you work. If you're not working out, it's probably going to show. But if you're working out, at some point, it's going to come back out.
For Ethan, you know, Ethan, a guy that you know, obviously does a lot of his work on the defensive end of the court, gets a lot of things done on things that won't show up on the stat sheet. But for him to get into double figures and, you know, be a little more aggressive on the offensive end of the court tonight, just what does that say about him and like his ability to just do what's needed for this team?
It says everything. Ethan is, like you said, is just one of those guys who does everything that won't show up. He's essential to this team. He guards the best player each day in, day out. Number 10 on Ohio State, I forget his name, but he might be a lottery pick. Like he's really good. He's a big boy at handle. I mean, 230, he's big. So, you know, credit to Ethan in taking on that challenge each and every night to guard the best player. And then on the offensive end, I always try to preach to him, man, stay aggressive, stay patient, and be confident in yourself. Because once you're not confident in your shot, that's when it's not going to fall. So I try to preach that to him each and every night. And he made shots for us tonight, and that was big time for us.
You get to start in the second half. Is that a conversation you have with Painter, or is he just pick your number?
No, you know what I mean? He just came in the half, you know, said I was starting, which is cool. You know, you know, for me, it's nothing. I just kind of just wanted to make sure I go in and still guard and do the little things that I've been doing on the team. I didn't need to change anything. I didn't need to score extra points or do nothing else. Just making sure I accept my role and excelling in that role to help us get the win for Ohio State tonight.
You said you needed just one game to get hot for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
you there?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good game for me. I ain't trying to jinx myself or nothing crazy, but I think that'll be good for me, especially with my confidence. You know, basketball's a mental game, and everything happens on the court is mental. You know, so that was big time for me and for our team overall.
Obviously, this team has talked about just, you know, you have all the shooters. You've seen them go down in practice. They haven't gone down in previous games. Was there anything else that maybe you identified in your game that was causing you to miss some shots? Was there anything, maybe just rushing things, mechanics, anything like that?
Man, you know, honestly, I just say just the confidence part. Once I miss shots, I mean, it's hard sometimes. You know, they say, you know, shooters keep shooting. Yeah, that's true essentially. But when you miss some shots, you're in your own head. And again, coming off the bench is kind of hard because, you know, you want to make your shots right away when you're coming off the bench to stay in the game and guard and, you know, get stops. But so that's kind of a hard thing too mentally. But like I said, we just, I'll say it again, we work on the game so much, like countless hours before practice, after practice. And someday we always just say to each other and mention to each other each and every day that it can't rain forever. And that kind of showed tonight. And I think it will show a little more of these games moving forward.